Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 267. It was 30 degrees this morning. 30. It's going to be 72 tomorrow. 30 it's like 35 degrees right now. It was 30 like in the overnight. 72 tomorrow, 80 something on Tuesday. Welcome to Wisconsin. Super productive day on Saturday. Ended not so productive. I braved the chilly elements. I was cleaning the card room, and I'll get to that. I get a text from my buddy who lives about a block down the street. He's like, "Hey, we're having a fire." I was a couple beers in. Let's do it. So I grabbed a couple beers out of my beer fridge and walked over, and some of the neighbors were there, so we had a nice little fire. It was cold and windy, so it was cold. I should have showered before bed. I still smell like campfire, but it was nice to get out. It's been a while, and I told them, and they have fires like when it was like 0, they would go out bundled up, and not for me. I told them. One of the guys was like, "Whoa, I haven't seen you in a long time." And I'm like, "That's because I don't come to your fires between November and the end of April because it's freaking cold. I don't do cold. I'm in the wrong state." What's up, Zach? Good morning. So I had my beer jacket on last night. So I was a couple beers in when he texted me. So I was still chilly. So yeah, super productive Saturday. I'll just kind of go chronologically. I had planned on, so I didn't know going into the weekend before Thursday, I didn't know how I was going to feel because my second COVID shot was Thursday night. So I didn't know if this was going to be kind of a waste of a weekend, because I know some people said they felt like garbage for a couple days after their shot. So I didn't make any plans for Friday, expecting the worst. And then Saturday was just kind of like, I'll do eBay packages. I'm not going to plan any, shopping trips or day trips or anything. So actually felt good, felt great on Friday. So no side effects from the COVID vaccine, number 2. So I did some, was productive on Friday and Friday night. And then I'd been searching. I see some tweets from like people going to flea markets, and man, I love junky flea markets, man. I love like just almost like dumpster diving in these flea market booths. It's just, I love junk, as you can see. So I was, and I know Wisconsin has some good flea markets. So I was just kind of looking like, are there any flea markets this weekend? There's one of the first things that came up in my search was Crazy Frank's in Mineral Point, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes to the west of where I'm at. I live on the far west side, so it's about 45 minutes from where I'm at. So I'm like, I'm going to go to Crazy Frank's. And it's an easy drive. It's like highway the entire way. So I decided to check that out. I got caught up. So I was up yesterday morning doing eBay, and my eBay sales have been kind of slower than normal, mostly attributed to the fact that I haven't been listing as many cards, especially like of the 99-cent variety. So the sales have been kind of low. So I've been really able to pick up steam shipping and getting caught up. And I was down to like 12 items to ship, which is the lowest. I don't remember the last time I had that few items to ship. Probably going back to like October, maybe. I mean, it's been several months, maybe 6 months, the last time, like, because a lot of times, and especially when I was listing, especially in bulk, I would get like 10 items shipped and I would make like 3 or 4 sales. So it was just like, I couldn't keep up. So felt very good. I'm back up to like, and then I did some shipping last night. I got it back down to like 10 last night. What's up, Boom Slang? So I got my eBay shipments down to like 10 to ship. And I decided to start doing some cleaning, but I'll go back to my flea market. So after I was able to catch up, I decided I'm going to go to this indoor flea market and check it out just to see what they have. So I made the drive over and walk in. Right off the bat, there was like a Harry Carey like bobblehead, and it was like $20, and I passed. It didn't have any markings. I think it was just like either homemade or it. I don't know what it was, but I passed on that. So I went in. It's a huge. They have like 200 booths. It's a huge indoor flea market. It's like a huge machine shed. So I went back and they had. I should have taken pictures. I should have taken pictures because I didn't. I only bought one item, and I'll show it off here in a second. I should have taken pictures. There was one booth that had like some cards, some sports memorabilia. They had a couple books. They had a Harry Carey book and a Ryan Sandberg book. They were like $5, and I don't like books. I mean, I read books, but as a collector, I don't like books to collect. So passed on those. They had like grab bags and team set bags of like junk wax era, and they actually had a couple 88 Fleer Cubs team sets for $1, which isn't too bad. You figure there's like 25 cards. That's a decent, but I have so many 88 Fleer. I just didn't do it for me. It was a baseball with a picture of Mr. Mint on it, and it was from the 14th National in Chicago, and it was only like $3, but it was like right when I started, and I'm like, I don't want to just carry this thing. What am I going to do with it? Like, it's $3. It was kind of cool. Like I didn't want to just buy a bunch of junk, even though that's kind of what I do. But I should have taken a picture of it because it was pretty cool. It was from the 14th National, which would have been probably in the 14 years, would have been probably the early to midnight, maybe 95, somewhere around there. I can't remember when the first like official national was. I think it was in the early 80s. The same booth had some 89 score factory sets. That was There were like a few booths that had 89 score factory sets, but it was $17.50. An 89 score for 90 score, I probably would have bought that for $17. To get the Bo and the Frank. My wife's up very early on a Sunday. So I passed on that. There was a lot of farm. I mean, we're in rural Wisconsin, so farming is huge up here, especially dairy farms. So there was a ton of like farm toys, and like they were like, it wasn't like, most of the booths were like well organized, nice, like it looked like a business presence, which I like my flea markets junky. Like I like boxes of just junk that I can dig through and find diamonds in the rough. That's what I like in a flea market. This was more commercialized. So I went back into like the main room because it's broken off. It's like one machine shed and like two machine sheds. So like you walk into the middle. So then I veered left, did the loop back into the main, and then on to the right side. So the main area didn't really have much, although that's where I did find. I picked up this bad boy. It's a Chevy Silverado Chicago Cubs truck. It was like $20. It was new in the box. It's new in the box. It has it's from Ertl, which is like a farm toy company. It has the Live for This Game, so it's fairly new. 2006, so I guess it's older than I thought. So my dad was a huge. He would have loved something like this just to put on a shelf. He was a big Chevy guy. So I'm gonna take it out like this and put it on a shelf. So that's the only thing I bought. But then so as I walked into the last room, they had a lot of like sports memorabilia in there. They had some cool stuff. There was like on a chair, there was a couple of factory sets from 2015 baseball tops and 2019. So I'm thinking, but they were open and it was only like 3/4 full. So I'm sure, and it was only like $5.50, but it's like, what am I going to do with these? Like maybe the Cubs were all taken out. Like I wasn't gonna dig through to see what was in, so I just passed. There were several sports booths. They had some cool stuff. One was like really well priced. There was also like some cool like McDonald's toys. There was the McDonald's Playhouse, like with the box. So some of this stuff I actually like looked on eBay. I'm like, because it looked like a good price. So I did the eBay check, and it was like eBay comped. There was some like Shaq figures from the 90s, back when I was a huge Shaq fan. What else? Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They had that there. So it was a lot of like cool stuff that I forgot about, like toys that was in there. But then I hit a card booth, and it was just a small section, maybe like the size of one of these shelves, with junk wax, boxes, factory sets. And then I looked at the price tags, and then I saw 2021. Are you kidding me? 2021 Heritage Blaster, $35. Come on. Then I saw 2021 Donruss Blaster, $40 frickin' dollars. Get out of here. And his junk wax was 88 tops for $40. Like, it's like there was some cool stuff. I checked to make sure there was, but it was garbage and overpriced. So then I weaved around, and then that's where I saw the Rock'em Sock'em. There were some other things. I should have taken pictures, because there was some cool stuff that I would have just liked to share on Twitter. But alas, I didn't. So that was my trip to the flea market. So Zach, I apologize. I'll check your messages here. Porter got some cards at half-priced books yesterday. No wax and packages of 50 junk wax for $5. Grab Pro Set Platinum, Lawrence Taylor. Ooh, Bo Jackson. Very cool. They're in on the game too. I've told Porter, they're in on the game too. I've told Porter that he and I need to go to 7 Mile Fair again and look for finds. It's close to us. When you do, let me know, because I'll meet up with you, because I've been wanting to go to, I've heard about that. So I want to check that out. So that was my trip to the indoor flea market. What else did I do? So I came home, I did some more shipping, got caught up. I made some sales, through the afternoon. One more thing on my little road trip. So I went back, and so the next like city, it's a small, like 10-15,000 town. It's called Dodgeville, Wisconsin. So I'm like, I'm going to go in. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon. So I had some time. I'm going to go see if they have like a Goodwill or a thrift shop, antiques, just something. So I drive in. I've lived here for 7 years, and I didn't know they had a Walmart in Dodgeville, because it's only about 35 minutes from where I live. I was always thinking Platteville, which is like an hour, was the next like small town Walmart. So I'm like, oh, I'll stop here. So it had a huge display of empty display boxes. They had a huge card section, but it was empty display boxes. So it was just a quick in and out. Nothing to see here. And it was like mosaic basketball. So I think some of these display boxes have been on the shelf for like 9 months. So then I just kind of weaved around the town. They had a couple like antique shops down in their little downtown area, but I passed. There were a couple garage sales that at that point, it's like, I'm just going to go home. So, came home, did some eBay shipping, and, then I like kind of what I wanted to do was get caught up and then start cleaning, so I can really start when my penny sleeves come in. I can really buckle down on sleeving quarter cards. I need trade pack. By the way, Zach, your package went out in the mail yesterday, so hopefully you get it Monday or Tuesday. So I have trade packages I need to get caught up on. I still have Cubs mail from 3 weeks. The last 3 weeks I need to open. So that was kind of the goal, is to get cleaned, organized, so I can tackle those projects next. What's up, Dan? So as I start cleaning up kind of the area closest to me, I find a box of, so like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, a couple years ago. Um, Whenever I go to like weekend trips, so this was when I was doing a softball tournament in Illinois. I was looking at the Craigslist for that area, and so in Bloomington, Illinois, which is where Wax Pack Hero is from, Mike Summer, there was a Craigslist for like non-sports cards with like 5,000 Cubs, 5,000 White Sox, 5,000 Cardinals. Good price, and a lot of it was like country music, UFC, some other stuff. So I'm like, I'll take a swing. Olympics cards. So it ended up being pretty lucrative, even though all of the good stuff was allegedly pulled. I mean, holding it became good. At the time, it was just kind of commons. But I ended up selling like a lot of the Olympics cards for a decent return. So it's basically paid off that purchase a long time ago, free Cubs, because I got like 5,000 or 6,000 Cubs out of it. So a lot of it I've just like put in boxes because it's like non-sports stuff. So there was a box of UFC cards that I started going through, and I'm like, well, I'm going to pull some of the name people out and sleeve them up and put them in quarter boxes. So as I'm digging through, I pull out like Chael Sonnen is somebody I've heard of. Like, I don't follow UFC. I do know there were fights last night because two of my coworkers always chat about the fights. Nate Diaz, I've heard of him. Dustin, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Poirier. Cormier, I've heard of him. Jessamine Duke. Cormier, Jessamine Duke, Jessica I. Misha Tate, Amanda Nunes. So I've heard of them. So I'm like, I can sell those for a quarter. And then I found Masvidal, Jorge Masvidal, who was actually like the main event last night. So I'm like, oh, cool. I wonder what his sell for. Thinking maybe a couple bucks. Well, apparently it's his rookie card. And I only found 2 in the box I had, but I put it on eBay for $45, and both of them sold like within an hour at $45. Unfortunately, after he lost the fight last night, and unfortunately, one of those 2 was an a-hole eBayer, Matty _6814, MATTY _6814, canceled after he lost the fight. You can also see the details on my Twitter at 1 million Cubs. What's up, Herman? Good morning. Is that the card that appears provocative? Yeah, Jorge Masvidal. So both of these sold for $45. He canceled. So one of them, I put one of them back up on eBay. So now I got to go back and check the others. These are from 2014, so I don't know if there's rookie cards but I think some of these are could be worth a few bucks. And I think I have some like Topps Finest or Topps Chrome UFC. So I'll have to look for those as well. I don't know if they're from the same year, but they could be. So I'll have to check those out as well. So that's what the part I like about cleaning. Every time I clean, I come across like good finds. Like a couple weekends ago, it was the Jerry Rice Marvel Spider-Man, which I ended up selling that for $50. I found a Manny Pacquiao I sold for $50. Just cards that are like in common boxes that are selling for $50 a pop. So I need to clean more. So I'm gonna tackle some more cleaning this morning. Go through the boxes. That's also why it takes me so long to clean, because I start like going through boxes. But hey, if I can find a couple of $50 cards, it's well worth that time spent away from the cleaning. Herman's got a big announcement coming up, and I'm very curious on what this announcement is going to be. So check out Herman's announcement tomorrow night, Monday Night Rips, with Herman and Ken on the 3B Collection channel. 7 p.m. Central is when they go. So that'll be fun. So when I was in the middle of cleaning, that's when my buddy texted me, said, hey, fire. And I'm like, okay. I found a couple of good cards, put those on eBay. I'm out the door. Let's drink some beer and sit by the fire. Um, so that was my productive Saturday. So today I'm going to try to be productive as well and do some more cleaning. It's going to be cold today. Like I said, it's like 35 right now. It's only going to be in the 40s, and then tomorrow it's going to warm up. So I want to be super productive today so I can get outside the next few days when it's going to be uh, Monday night rips. I like that. Um, Is that did I get that wrong? I can't remember what the Monday night hobby chat, Monday night rips. Um, so that's what I have planned because it's going to be nice the next couple days. So I want to get out, get on the bike. I did. I don't know if George. I don't think George is watching, but I know he went for a bike ride. So I have the next like the bike trip I want to take is to a town that's like 15 miles from here. And there's a bike path that's a few miles from my house. So I can ride to the bike path and then take a bike path all the way into the town. And there's a brewery called the Grumpy Troll. And it was actually like the first place I stopped after my first job interview before I moved up here. So it kind of holds a place to my heart. And it's an awesome name. So I kind of miled it out. And it's only like 13 miles, I think 14 miles one way. So, a nice little bike trip I'll take. If it's nice next weekend, maybe I'll do that. Stop at the Grumpy Troll for a beer and turn around. Personal rips and hobby chat, but I like yours better. Monday night rips. So that's what I had for today. George is coming down this weekend. That's right. He told me about that. That's awesome. And Dan, I am going to, I've still got to get your cookies. So I'll get that burley and your cookies mailed, to your buddy this week. So, I'll hit the grocery store up today. I got to do some errands. I'm looking for those foam and I tweeted about it. Those foam, you can buy them at BCW, or Ultra Pro probably has them as well. But I just want to go to the store and buy them, and probably get them cheaper if I can like cut them myself. Those foam, like for card boxes, especially with my quarter boxes, because the sleeves, they slide all over the place. So I want those foam protection. So I think I'm going to hit up, Michael's Craft Store because I'm sure they have that foam. And I'll probably have to cut it. They're not going to be like, sold as, that's what I was thinking. That foam, Zach. Michael's has to have it. There's a Michael's just down the street from me. So I'll hit Michael's today, and I'll probably have to cut it to fit, but that's okay. It's probably cheaper than buying it through a hobby store because I'm sure they're already cut. My local card shop doesn't have that foam. Office supply store, Hobby Lobby is not. Oh yeah, Hobby Lobby is the Chick-fil-A, no Sundays. So Hobby Lobby's actually pretty far because it's all the way like in Monona, which is on the east side. So Hobby Lobby's I think that's the only Hobby Lobby around here, but it's pretty far. There's a Michael's like really like 5 minutes away. I can actually see from when I'm in the office, I can actually see my office looks over the shopping area. And so there's a Michael's, there's a DSW, there's a Biaggi's restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, Cold Stone. What's that? Not Marshall's. One of those stores, one of those clothing stores. So I can like see that. And it was really weird. This is like random, but like when the quarantine like started, like before I started working from home, Michael's was super busy. It was really weird. Like no other store, like most of them were closed, but the Michael's craft store was super busy. But I guess people were crafting, like they had to do something. So, but we like all like speculated like it's something shady. They're doing some shady backroom business at Michael's craft store. It was fun. Miss going to malls for shopping at those shops. Love I think it is Marshalls. So, and there's also, a, is it, it's been so it's been so long since I've been in the office. I can't my desk overlooks these stores and I can't remember the name. Michael's was controversial. They got essential business status. Okay. Yeah, they were super busy when the quarantine began. Old Town Market or something like that. I can't remember what the store, but they had so it is Marshalls. Yeah, because Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Yeah. Old Town Market or something, and they had like clearly Canadian, which I loved in the 90s. They had some other like 90s candy that I had, like you don't see at the store anymore, but they still make it. Clearly Canadian was one, which actually I think one of the grocery store I go to, I did see it on the shelf there. But like some of those like 90s candy that you grew up with that you don't see, in the checkout candy aisle anymore. They had those. So maybe I'll have to stop in and see what they have. So that's what I had for today. I'm going to get to cleaning and get another cup of coffee. Thanks for chatting. Have a great Sunday. Shopping at the store inside my high school. Have a great Sunday, and we'll catch you tomorrow.